What is up, guys? Sonduren Fanarredha here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly fix the stone chips on your car like magic. So I have my 2009 Lexus IS250 here, and it's in great condition, but it does have a lot of stone chips. Over 325,000 kilometers, so this is kind of normal, especially after lots of highway driving, etc. It's going to happen. And you can see on the front end here, we have a bunch of kind of major stone chips, and depending on a lot of people's cars, they may have to go get a repaint if you really want to fix it. But today, I'm going to be showing you how to properly, professionally, and easily fix these stone chips like they've never even been there in the first place with this chip fix kit. I've used this on my 2008 Audi R8 and had amazing results. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll make sure I link it up in the card above as well, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Over 27,000 subscribers. But this kit does amazing wonders. It comes with a paint solution, which is a little bit different than your normal touch-up paint, and I'm going to explain a little bit why. You have what is a leveler solution, and I'm going to be explaining how you're going to be using this as well. And then a wax, you're going to have a brush, and just a blue shop rag. Now the great thing about this, especially in the condition of this paint today, we have a bunch of stone chips all in kind of one area. And how this kit works essentially is you're going to be dabbing the paint into the chips, letting it dry, and then using the leveler solution to remove all the paint outside of the chip. I'm going to show you how to do all of these steps, and it's going to remove all of these chips and make it look like they were never there in the first place. It's going to be great. So I'm going to, again, link everything in the description box down below so you can access these products. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment box down below as well. Let's get started. Make sure the car, number one, is completely clean. So I've washed this car. I've gone ahead, I've removed any ceramic coating, any wax on the car as well. And I also gave it a nice prep with alcohol. I wiped it with a little bit of IPA alcohol. The point is here, you want to make sure that everything is completely clean. There's no polishes or residues on the paint. So let's get started with the paint. So you are going to be able to color match the paint. You're going to give your color code to Chip Fix, and they're going to send you a color coded matched paint for you. Now this paint is a little bit different again, so this is not going to work like your normal touch-up paint. It has a higher solid count for it to work with the leveler solution. So I have the paint here. What you always want to do is make sure you just shake it up really good. So I'm going to go ahead, give this a nice shake. So now that's nicely shaken up. We're gonna pull this out here, and now we're gonna take that paintbrush that they've also supplied us with. So really, it's this simple and easy, and honestly, it kind of blows my mind because I've been a professional detailer for the last 10 years. And yes, you can go ahead and put paint blobs on the paint and then wet sand it down, but it's very difficult, and to get the results that are high quality and professional, it's really difficult. Now look what I'm gonna do here. I've just put a little bit of paint on this brush tip, and you could see the paint chips here. All of these paint chips all down on the paint here. Now all I'm gonna do is just dab and swipe. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna dab the paint into the chips just like this and smear it on. You don't need to worry about it being perfect or anything like that. Just give it a nice smear. Try to cover the chip completely and level it. So you're gonna see that the chip is obviously indented in the paint. So I just like to, make sure that there's a lot of paint in the chip there. Cover these chips just like that. And you don't need to worry about, is it messy or am I doing this right? It's honestly, you just blob it on like this. And that's the great thing about this kit and how you're gonna fix stone chips just like this. It's very simple, user-friendly. You don't need to worry about screwing anything up. And it just does such an amazing job. I was so impressed with my Audi R8 and how that turned out. So there we go. I'm just getting the last bit of chips here. I want to make sure I get full coverage. There's another chip here. And I think we're good here. We've gotten the majority of the chips. I see one here. I also see one up here I'm going to take care of. And that looks like it. So we've covered the majority of chips here. Now, depending on your temperature outside, it is about 20 degrees out here in beautiful Southern Ontario today. So I'm going to be letting this dry for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let this dry for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and hit it with the leveler solution. And the leveler solution is essentially just going to remove the paint from around the chip and actually leave the paint inside of the chip intact. So let's go ahead, wait 5 minutes, and we're gonna bring in the leveler solution. Now, if you have chips that are a little bit deeper, you can come back after halfway through the drying period and just add a little bit more paint onto that chip, just to make sure that you get it really up and level on the surrounding paint in the clear. So this is what I'm gonna do now for some of these deeper ones. Some of them just have a little bit more of an indentation there. You'll be able to see that really easy as it's drying. So I'm just adding a little bit more paint on some of these guys. And this is just gonna make sure that everything really stays flush with the surrounding paint when we remove it with the leveler solution. So there we go. Just a little bit of that, and I think I'm done here. And now I'm gonna let it actually fully dry about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna hit it with the leveler solution. So just a little bit more dab there, and we should be good. So it's been about 10 minutes on both applications, so now we're gonna start with the leveler solution. So again, this is the leveler solution here. I have my blue shop rag, and again, you don't need to add too much of the leveler solution. So I'm gonna add, let's say, this much onto the blue shop rag. Okay, there we go, I'm happy with that. And all we're gonna do is rub off the paint chip that's surrounding the paint. So we wanna rub the paint that's surrounding the paint chip itself. So here we go, lightly I am rubbing it with the leveler solution. Again, I am not, doing this too hard. I'm just using the leveler solution and I'm rubbing the paint, and you can see the paint is coming off from around the paint chip. And so I'm gonna be doing this across all of these guys. And now I can see it's drying up. So I'm just gonna put more of the leveler solution in. There we go. And I'm gonna go back here on this. And I'm not putting too much pressure, and I'm not digging into the actual chip. I'm just lightly going around the chips and getting rid of that excess paint. So look at that. You can see now already that chip is completely gone, and that's remarkable. And the surrounding paint is being removed, and now I'm going ahead here. I'm removing the surrounding paint on these guys. And now this is built up, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the cloth over, add some more leveler solution to the edge of the cloth, like that, and I'm going back. And now we're leveling out the chips. And I'm coming here now. And we're getting rid of the paint that is around the chip, but we're keeping the paint in the chip. I love doing this because it's like magic, and you can see each chip, the paint is staying inside of the chip, and it's not removing the paint actually inside. It's just removing the paint on the outside of the chip. And you can see, look at the results already. A lot of those chips have disappeared. I'm adding more leveler solution, different part of the rag. Now I have a microfiber rag. I'm just going to give it a good clean up here, like so, and just wow. Look at that. Look at the difference from the before and look at the after. The paint chips have been filled in, and it looks so great. From even 2 feet away, you'll never notice the paint chips anymore. What a great job. So now I'm at the front of my car, and there's these 2 major paint chips right here on the front bumper. So again, this one's actually quite deep into the paint. I'm gonna go ahead and just dab the paint in, just like that. I'm gonna dab the paint in there, just like that. It's that simple. I'm gonna let this dry for 5 minutes. I'm gonna see and come back to this one and see if I need to add another layer after 5 minutes before we do anything with the leveler solution. So these have been dried for about 5 minutes. Again, we're gonna go with this magical leveler solution, putting it on the rag, and we're gonna lightly wipe around the chips. All we're doing is removing that excess paint, and let's see how this is gonna look. And so again, just lightly rubbing. You really don't need too much of this, and the light rubbing at different angles, left to right, up and down, circular, just do that. And you're gonna get the paint around the chip off fairly easily. And look at that, it's coming right off. Wow. And this chip was huge, and you guys can see the eyesight here is probably better than my own eyes. I'll say that again. You're in 4K, and look at the results. And I still haven't fully removed all the paint there yet. Now I have. Amazing. Let me take the microfiber towel, give it a wipe. Just incredible. So it's filled in the chip. It's done such a great job, and I don't notice that chip anymore from even a foot away, which is just amazing. What a result from before. And take a look at the result now. The before and after on this is amazing, and really, It's just that easy. It's dabbing, swiping, letting it dry, and just rubbing it with the leveler solution, and these are the results you're getting. This is absolutely amazing. So once you've done the repair on the chip, you do want to put a wax, a ceramic, or sealant back on the paint. In this case here, they've given me a wax. I have a ceramic coating and a sealant that I'm actually going to be using. All you're going to do is make sure you apply it on the painted area, and once it's all cleaned up, you have the wax on, your car is going to be protected. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that wax here on the area. This is going to protect the paint, again, protect the repair as well, and make sure that the paint is going to look its best, especially with the repair done on it. So I'm going to leave this on for about 10 minutes to dry. After that, I'm going to buff it off, and this paint chip is completely repaired and protected. Well, there you have it. That's how you fix stone chips on your car like magic. I absolutely love this kit. I've been using this for all of my cars. I couldn't highly recommend it more. Again, professional detailer for 10 years. I've done it all. I've done the blobbing, the wet sanding, all of that stuff. And honestly, the results from this are better than that, and it's so much easier. So I couldn't more highly recommend this. If you found this video helpful, or if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment box down below. Make sure you give this video a like, and make sure you subscribe. Over 27,000 subscribers. If you like anything to do with cars, detailing, motorcycles, that's what this channel is about. And if you like following me on that journey, I'd really appreciate you to join as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this is gonna make your cars look a lot better for the summer. I'll catch you guys in the next one.